When Giannis Antetokounmpo took home his first league MVP award last season, many of us suspected that it would not be his last. Although the concept was far from controversial, what Antetokounmpo has achieved this past season stunned everyone and has earned him not one, but two of the league's most honorable awards. The reigning league MVP undoubtedly had the best season of his career, as he averaged 29.6 points, 13.7 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game. Antetokounmpo's stats in points and rebounds qualified as new career bests, while he fell just short of the career-high 5.9 assists he achieved last season. What Giannis is doing right now should never be ignored because he's made it impossible to do so. Every season of his career is a march of progress. He's a viable franchise cornerstone, then a star, then a megastar, then an MVP, then an MVP favorite. And his literal giant strides act in service of the longer view. A league-wide takeover that has fueled obsession over his future and, more importantly, solidified his trajectory as one of the all-time greats. But before we jump in, please remember that if you've enjoyed the video thus far and can't wait to see which 26-year-old record Giannis broke, then please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and make sure to tell your friends and family about the journey we are about to embark on. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a spectacular run in the 2019-20 season. He was putting up numbers better than his previous MVP winning season. Giannis has been a dominant force on both the offensive and defensive sides of the floor. The Milwaukee Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo was named NBA MVP for the second straight season Friday. Giannis made history as he also won the NBA DPOY, and has now joined an exclusive club as he's once again named the association's most valuable player, and for the first time Giannis is the Defensive Player of the Year. Only two players have won both DPOY and MVP honors in the same season: Michael Jordan, 1987-88, and Hakeem Olajuwon, 1993-94. Giannis has now become the third player to win an MVP and DPOY in the same season. The last time this happened was 26 years ago. What appeared inevitable during the regular season in Giannis winning his second straight MVP is almost overwhelming. Attempting to figure out where Antetokounmpo might finish his career on the all-time ladder is now almost devoid of hyperbole. Giannis Antetokounmpo, as we all should know, has been brilliant in the past two seasons, leading the Bucks to the NBA best records for the second straight year. Giannis improved from his previous MVP season. Back in 2018-19, he averaged 27.7 PPG, 12.5 RPG, and 5 APG. He bumped up the numbers to average 29.5 PPG, 13.6 RPG, and 5.6 APG while leading Milwaukee to an NBA best record. The Greek Freak may not be the face of the NBA right now, nor will any other player while LeBron James is still active in my opinion, but he has achieved something that LeBron never has in taking home the 2020 MVP award along with the 2020 Defensive Player of the Year award. Antetokounmpo took home the MVP award over co-finalists LeBron James and James Harden and brought in the DPOY award over Anthony Davis and Rudy Gobert. By securing back-to-back MVP awards, Antetokounmpo will join Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Steve Nash, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell as the only NBA players to do so. In other words, the list is composed of pretty much every guy in the GOAT discussion, save for Kobe Bryant, and includes others like Curry, Nash, and Duncan. Either way, it certainly means that we should start to regard Giannis as something more than just an amazing player in the current era of basketball. Antetokounmpo won the DPOY award in a landslide, receiving 75 first-place votes from a panel of 100 sports writers and broadcasters and earning 432 points total. Bucks coach Mike Budenholzer broke the news to the Greek power forward that he was the DPOY that resulted in a jumping celebration. The whole team was rejoiced with this news ahead of their Game 5 fixture against the Orlando Magic. At the end of the day, when you go out there and compete, and when you have guys behind you and next to you that compete as hard, awards like this can come, Giannis said after hearing the news. I think it's been my best year, but you can always get better. You can always improve. The Milwaukee Bucks squad, as well as others from the sports community, gave their reactions to the news. Everyone was full of compliments for the number 34 of the Bucks. Legendary center Shaquille O'Neal said, "That man is Defensive Player of the Year now. I got to show that man some respect." We know Shaq usually doesn't praise current players much, But when he does, he makes sure his praises are directed to the right man. Houston Texans' defensive end J.J. Watt also expressed his view on this award. Watt tweeted, "Congrats to the DPOY at Giannis_AN34. Very well deserved." However, former Cavs Kendrick Perkins had different thoughts. While congratulating Giannis, Perkins also mentioned Anthony Davis should have got more votes. The 2018-19 NBA MVP, Antetokounmpo becomes the 5th player to win both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in his career, joining Kevin Garnett, Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, and David Robinson. Antetokounmpo, 25, anchored the best defensive team in the league in the Bucks, averaging 13.6 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal in 30.4 minutes per game. Milwaukee allowed only 96.5 points per 100 possessions with Antetokounmpo on the court, giving him the lowest defensive rating among more than 300 players who averaged at least 15 minutes per game. From the beginning of the season through March 11, Milwaukee's opponents shot an NBA low 41.3% from the field. Antetokounmpo held his matchups to 36.5% shooting from the field, the lowest percentage among the more than 250 players who faced at least 300 shots. Antetokounmpo averaged an NBA-high 11.5 defensive rebounds in games played through March 11, highlighted by 9 games with at least 15 defensive rebounds. He also averaged 1.04 steals and 1.02 block shots, making him one of the 6 players to average 1 or more in both categories. His Bucks posted the league's best regular season record, 56-17, and top defense, and they were one of just 12 teams in league history to finish the season with a point differential greater than 10. Aside from his defense, one of the more overlooked aspects of Antetokounmpo's statistics this year was his player efficiency rating, PER. For most of the season, the forward was not only on pace to have the highest PER in the league, but the highest in NBA history. Giannis fell just short of the all-time mark when the season got suspended, as his 31.7 PER could not surpass Wilt Chamberlain's 31.8 PER in 1962-63. The most memorable part of Antetokounmpo's season is that he achieved all these feats while having averaged 30.9 minutes per game, the fewest since his rookie season. So the numbers Giannis has been putting up weren't inflated by big minutes either. Antetokounmpo was 5th in the NBA in scoring, 2nd in the league in rebounding, but only 71st in minutes per game. Having played fewer minutes while showcasing improved play on either side of the ball, Giannis' name repeatedly got mentioned in talks for Most Valuable Player and Defensive Player of the Year all season, in which he inevitably won. Antetokounmpo also becomes the 14th player with multiple MVP awards and the 2nd international player in that club, joining Canada's Steve Nash. This is the 5th time that someone won MVP honors while playing for the Bucks. Only Boston, the Los Angeles Lakers, Philadelphia, and Chicago have had more. Antetokounmpo is 25. 20-freaking-5. And he's the Defensive Player of the Year and League MVP, the utmost, verging on inarguable, Boone and the Best Player Alive discussion. A lot of noise has been running since the start of the Heat-Bucks series about Giannis' case for the MVP award. Eventually, the Bucks lost 4-1 to the Heat, and a lot of people argued whether Giannis should win the MVP honors this year. People tend to forget the MVP award is for the regular season performance, and no other player was as good as Giannis was during that period. He was dominating both sides of the floor and was leading the Bucks as a proper floor leader.